Hello and welcome back to Soft Spoken Storytime, episode 53, SCP-008, Zombie Plague. By order of the Overseer Council, this file is subject to Level 4 classification. Level 4 clearance is required. Please input security credentials. Security clearance adequate. Accessing file. Item number SCP-008. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-008 samples have been deemed Class 5 extreme biological hazards, and all related protocols apply. Incineration and irradiation measures will be deployed in the event of political or military action, which may result in the facility being dismantled. A power failure or zero communications from operatives or outside channels during any given 8-hour period. The quarantine period for operatives leaving the facility is 4 months. If a breach has occurred, incineration and irradiation measures shall be deployed. It should be the policy of all G2 sites to not prepare an evacuation procedure. Description: SCP-008 is a complex prion, samples of which are stored in each of the known G2 sites. Research into SCP-008 is highly classified and primarily aimed at preventing research which may lead to the synthesis of SCP-008 in the distant future. Traits of the SCP-008 prion include 100% infectiousness, 100% lethality, transmission through exposed mucous membranes and all bodily fluids, not airborne or waterborne. Symptoms of infection with SCP-008 manifest no more than 3 hours after exposure and include flu-like symptoms with high fever plus severe dementia in later stages. Coma onset approximately 20 hours after first symptoms appear and 12 hours after noticeable dementia. Coma onset will be considered onset of death. A period of sporadic cellular necrosis occurs, which comes to resemble gangrene. Surviving tissue assumes its original function and is highly resilient. Red blood cells greatly increase oxygen storage capacity, resulting in slower blood flow and increased muscle endurance and strength. Nervous and muscular systems are unaffected by total organ failure for several hours. Metabolism may decrease to extremely low levels, allowing subject to survive for over 10 years without nutrition. High blood viscosity results in negligible blood flow from gunshot, puncture, and slashing injuries. Conditioned behavior, motor controls, and instinctive behavioral mechanisms are damaged, and cognitive abilities are severely degraded and erratic. Animals experience excessive brain necrosis and are inactive. Subject can adapt to its damaged nervous systems, but is limited to basic physical activities, including standing up, balancing on 2 legs, walking, biting, grabbing, and crawling. Subject will energetically move towards sights, sounds, and smells it associates with living humans. Subject will attempt to ingest living humans if physical contact is made. Neutralizing fully infected subjects requires significant cranial trauma. There is strong evidence to suggest SCP-008 itself did not form naturally on Earth, since variants of similar complexity would have displaced much of the ecosystem. In 1959, a short collaborative effort with the USSR to locate G2 sites and eliminate SCP-008 was negotiated following their discovery. The status of SCP-008 in Russian custody since collaboration ended is unknown. Addendum 008-1 SCP-500 has been found to be able to completely cure SCP-008 even in the advanced stages of the disease. SCP-009 Red Ice. SCP-009 prior to recovery. Item number SCP-009 Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Object is to be contained within a sealed storage tank of heat-resistant alloy with dimensions not less than 2 meters by 2 meters by 2 meters. Under no circumstances should SCP-009 be exposed to temperatures in excess of 0 degrees Celsius when not undergoing testing, and no water-based solutions shall be allowed within 30 meters of the object's containment area. Object's chamber is to be fitted with temperature sensors which must be monitored at all times, and is to be kept refrigerated by no fewer than 3 redundant cooling units. Any malfunction of sensors or of coolant systems is to be reported and repaired immediately. If at any time the temperature in the containment area climbs above -5 degrees Celsius, the chamber is to be locked down and flooded with coolant until temperature returns to safe levels, -30 degrees Celsius to -25 degrees Celsius. Containment area is to be kept in total vacuum during testing, and personnel interacting with SCP-009 must wear full environmental protection gear. Following testing, all equipment, personnel, and other materials must undergo dehydration procedures and be quarantined for no less than 12 hours. Any moisture found displaying properties of SCP-009 is to be quarantined and added to the containment area as soon as possible. Living organisms found to be contaminated by SCP-009 are to be terminated by chemical desiccation, and extracted molecules of SCP-009 added to containment. Description: SCP-009 is approximately redacted liters of a substance which superficially resembles distilled water, H2O, except with a distinct bright red hue. This red hue is discernible in all phases and serves as the most expedient method of identifying contaminated matter before its anomalous properties manifest. In contrast to mundane water, SCP-009 assumes a liquid phase at temperatures between -100 degrees Celsius and 0 degrees Celsius, and a solid state above those temperatures. At temperatures below -100 degrees Celsius, SCP-009 vaporizes into a gaseous phase, similar to steam. Examinations of the atomic structure of SCP-009 have proved inconclusive. The substance appears to be identical to normal water molecules, with the exception of redacted. In contrast to standard laws of enthalpy, Dr. Redacted, Site Redacted's resident expert on xenospatial physics, suggests that SCP-009 may originate in a universe with alternate physical laws. The most hazardous property of SCP-009, however, is its ability to contaminate normal H2O. When in contact with any aqueous solution, SCP-009 will, through unknown mechanisms, transfer its anomalous properties to other objects and creatures. Testing has shown it capable of assimilating ice, steam, tea, fruit juice, seawater, blood, and data expunged. The time it takes for this process to occur varies depending on temperature and the exact chemical composition of affected matter, and had been observed as taking between 3 minutes and redacted hours. Experiments on D-class personnel have illustrated the process of conversion by the substance, which has been found to follow a consistent pattern. 1. Initial exposure. Subject is exposed to SCP-009, and it begins assimilating any moisture present on the exposed surface. Creatures in this stage do not commonly notice any unusual symptoms, except for a slight warming sensation. 2. Surface conversion. Frost begins to form on the exposed area as the heat produced by the subject and SCP-009 itself raises its temperature above 0 degrees Celsius. This stage can take anywhere from 1 minute to redacted hours, during which time subjects begin to feel redacted crystals from the epidermis. 3. Deep tissue conversion. Exponential increase in temperature of SCP-009 causes runaway reaction throughout subject's body, resulting in redacted. Actual blood loss is minimal due to ice crystals, redacted, allowing subjects to remain alive and conscious for up to redacted hours. 4. Data expunged. Testing on D-class personnel was discontinued as of 4/23/20 redacted. Addendum: Circumstances of retrieval. Subject was found in redacted Alaska on 11/05/19 redacted. The Foundation became involved after reports were obtained from the native redacted tribe who came across the mangled bodies of a team of seal hunters, which had apparently been shipwrecked redacted kilometers from the village. All victims were found encased in red ice. Cause of death recorded as internal bleeding, though closer examination found redacted. It is surmised that the low ambient temperatures in the area slowed the freezing process. This prolonged the time to total conversion by redacted hours and allowed the victims to remain conscious until data expunged. Origin of SCP-009 is currently unknown. Investigation into similar events or materials in the area is ongoing. Evidence at the scene suggests redacted, possibly involving SCP redacted. See Exploration Log A009-1 for details. Exploration Log A009-1. Exploration Log 1105-19 redacted. Situational Report. Mobile Task Force Beta 7, the Hazmatters, was deployed to recovery site to catalog and safely retrieve samples of SCP-009 for transport to site redacted. Agent Redacted Bryce, MTF B7, made a visual inspection of the area and noted 3 bodies, all male, between the ages of redacted and 40 years old. Dr. Redacted, also on site, surmised from the relative position of the subjects that Mr. Redacted, age 32, hereafter referred to as Subject 0, was the origin point of redacted. Subsequent subjects are presumed to have been exposed to SCP-009 while attempting to help Subject 0 back to the wreckage of the boat. During standard perimeter sweep, Agent Redacted Hughes located what appeared to be humanoid tracks leading northeast. After brief deliberation, a 3-man team consisting of Agent Hughes, Whitmore, and Cassidy was dispatched to investigate potential security breach. Begin log 6:42:43 EST. Agent Hughes. We found something, Control. It's a cave. The tracks lead inside. Control. Copy, Hughes. What do you see? Hughes. Looks like a crack in the ice. It's maybe a meter tall. The opening's not very wide. Agent Whitmore. Captain, we've got a body. Unidentified shuffling noises are heard. Control. We didn't copy, Hughes. Repeat. Hughes. There's a subject here, Control. Frozen in the skip. Male. About 15. Looks like he was trying to crawl away from something. There's a spear gun here. Also frozen. It's been fired. Control. Any signs of trauma? There's a pause. Agent Cassidy. Without touching him, I can't be sure. But it looks like he was stabbed with something. See how he's gripping his chest here? Right where this spike is growing out? He might have been attacked. Hughes. Did you hear her, Control? Control. Affirmative. Tag the coordinates for recovery and proceed into the cave. Whitmore. We using live fire, Captain? Hughes. There might be hostiles, so yes. But keep 'em in single shot mode. Don't want the guns getting too hot. Cassidy. Good call. Don't want to end up like this guy. Whitmore, unintelligible. That's for sure. Agents ready their weapons and proceed. Approximately 2 minutes pass. Whitmore, unintelligible. Control.
Please repeat, Hughes. We didn't copy.
Hughes. There's a chamber here. Control. I'd say 5 or 6 meters in diameter. It's filled with red ice. In the middle, there's a pool. Looks about 3 meters wide. Depth unknown. Cassidy. The heck screams are heard. Gunfire. Control.
Hughes, come in. Are there hostiles?
There's a brief pause. Hughes. Hell, negative. Control. Just, jeez, a polar bear. It's dead. There's dozens of bodies here, not human. I see a few seals, a snow fox, and a... What the hell? Whitmore. The heck is that? Cassidy. No, oh gosh. Control.
Hughes, do you copy?
Hughes. Cassidy found a spider. A giant spider. There's a pause, during which shuffling and hard breathing are heard. Control.
Is it alive? What do you mean by giant?
Hughes. I mean huge. Control. At least a meter leg span. It's frozen. Wait, no, shit. I don't see anything inside. It almost looks like it's made of this stuff. Cassidy, unintelligible. Not possible. We're nowhere close to Germany. Whitmore. What about Germany? Captain, I'm pretty sure that's 3023. Control.
Repeat, Captain.
Hughes. Cassidy said the spider is SCP-3023. Control. There's a pause. Control.
That's not possible, Hughes. Why would she think that?
Cassidy, voice elevated. I'm sure, Control. I've worked with 3023. It's an instance made of Skip 9. Whitmore. Wait, what's 3023? Control.
That is classified. Agent Cassidy, you are to speak no more of this. If the specimen is destroyed, there is no reason to worry about it. Please continue your search.
Cassidy, mumbling. But how the heck did it get here? We copy. Control. Cassidy, sweep the perimeter. See if there's any side tunnels. But that's an order. Unintelligible. Check these corpses. See if there are any humans. On it.
Agent Hughes, how deep is the pool you mentioned?
Can't see the bottom. Gosh, I'm having SCP-354 flashbacks. This is not cool.
Focus, Captain. Is there anything nearby you can use to measure the depth?
Hughes pauses. Well, the spider has a spear sticking out of it.
Can you safely retrieve it?
The suit should protect me, right?
All the same, try not to touch the affected material.
Alright, I've got it. Should work. Looks to be about 1.5 meters long.
Copy that, Hughes. Proceed with caution.
There's a pause. Well, it's definitely more than a meter deep. I could go further, but I'd have to get my hand closer to that stuff. Suit or no suit, I'd prefer not to do that.
Affirmative, Captain. We'll dispatch some D-Class with gear to test that out. Continue your search.
Copy that. Well, I guess I'm... Cassidy, voice distant. Captain! Hughes. Standby. Control. What is it, Cassidy? Cassidy, voice distant. I think you're going to want to see this, sir. I think I know where the spider came from. Control, I'm going deeper in the cave.
Affirmative. Proceed.
Approximately 1 minute of boots crunching on ice and packed snow. Oh, that's not good.
What do you see, Captain?
I An aperture, about a meter in diameter. It's covered in the stuff. Cassidy! 10 seconds of silence. Cassidy, report!
Do you have a visual of Agent Cassidy?
No! Shit! She must have gone inside.
Please remain calm. Describe the aperture.
It just looks like a tunnel, but there's no ice past the mouth, red or otherwise. I can make out a dim light coming from somewhere inside. Might be Cassidy's torch.
Is there anything else unusual?
Cassidy! Cassidy!
Captain Hughes, please respond. Is there anything else unusual about the tunnel?
Yeah, it's wet. The walls are... and the floor. There's a puddle about a meter down. Shit, the puddle is red. A few minutes of breathing and shuffling noises. Control, did you get that?
Affirmative. Stand by.
30 seconds of breathing, followed by approaching footsteps. Yo, what's up? Where's Cassidy? She went in there. Yo, Cassidy! Holla back, girl! 30 seconds of silence. Hughes, unintelligible. Control, I'm going in there.
Negative, Hughes. We're rerouting a team of D-Class for recovery. Your orders are to withdraw the rest of your team and await further orders.
Hughes. Data redacted. Whitmore. Whoa, hold up. Take it easy. Control.
You have your orders, Hughes. I don't think I need to remind you.
Data expunged. 45 seconds of silence. Hughes. Copy, Control. Let's go. End log. Addendum 1109-19 redacted. After initial report and retrieval of specimens, it was confirmed that the arachnoid entity found by MTF-B7 was indeed a previously unknown instance of SCP-3023. Investigation has revealed the instance originated in redacted as a result of data expunged. Addendum 1206-19 redacted. After repeated inquiries, it should be noted that the portion of coastline upon which the initial victims were found was barren rock approximately redacted meters from the seashore, and was sufficiently dry and cold to prevent significant contamination of the surrounding area. Had the site been closer to the water, there is little doubt an extinction-level event would have ensued. Consideration of upgrading SCP-009 to Keter class under review. Addendum 12-16-20 redacted. Supercooling of SCP-009 for the purposes of experimentation is disallowed until further notice. Personnel are advised that liquid nitrogen is only to be used on the subject in controlled amounts, and only until temperatures have reached acceptable levels. Related note: possible application of SCP-009 in cold fusion research pending evaluation. Memo from O5 Command 109-20 redacted. We've decided to keep this thing Euclid for now. We understand the concerns raised, but as long as you keep the power on and nobody goes near its containment area, there shouldn't be a problem. That's why we're keeping it in site redacted, after all. As for the cold fusion research, we're putting a pin in that for now. Frankly, we don't have it in the budget for another snafu like site redacted. The salvage team still hasn't found Dr. Redacted's redacted. Cross-testing report 9507-F23. The following experiment record was recovered via a chance occurrence of SCP-507 shifting into a universe in which the described test was carried out using SCP-107. The applicability of the reported findings to our own universe is pending review. Input: 10 milliliters of SCP-009. Result: red snow fell in the test area for 27 minutes with moderate intensity. Grass growing in test area began runaway reaction, which ended with entire area being frozen within minutes. Notably, anti-enthopathic reaction of SCP-009 did not extend past the effective radius of SCP-107, for reasons still under investigation. Non-grass plants in area turned bright red in color, greatly expanded and mutated to display cyan-colored tentacles, similar to those of species Drosera capensis. Mucilage produced by these tentacles, later found to be tiny beads of SCP-009. How the plant is able to survive with SCP-009 integrated into its cell structure is currently under investigation, with preliminary hypothesis being the plant is a reflection of flora from the substance's native universe.